Thank you, Grover. Winston Churchill once said, "I contend that for a nation to try and tax itself into prosperity is like a man standing in a bucket and trying to lift himself up." Joe Biden and the Democrats could learn a thing or two from those words today. Trillions in new spending paired with massive tax hikes on hard-working Americans has been the Democrats' economic mantra over the past 2 years. In just 20 months, their reckless spending policies added $4.8 trillion to the 10-year deficit. Through double-digit inflation and massive tax hikes, they've left the American people, and more importantly, future generations to come, to foot the bill. 2022 tax revenues were the second highest since World War II, and individual income tax revenue exceeded 10% of the GDP for the first time ever. To make matters worse, Biden is now doubling down on his detrimental tax and spend agenda by proposing the biggest tax hike to date, $4.7 trillion in new taxes with his 2024 budget. This includes $1.8 trillion in taxes on small businesses, $37 billion on American energy producers, and $77 billion in new death tax increases, just to name a few. With grocery and gas prices soaring across the country, the last thing that Americans need is more of their hard-earned money coming out of their paychecks for Joe Biden and his tax and spend friends. House Republicans are putting forward a plan that will rein in out-of-control Democrat spending, save taxpayer money, and implement long-lasting reforms to put our nation on a better track for future generations. The American people overwhelmingly support these proposed savings. But unfortunately, Joe Biden would rather stick his head in the sand than work with Republicans on a solution that Americans agree with. House Republicans have produced a long list of results during just our first 100 days, and we're not going to slow down. We will continue fighting for common sense spending reforms and force Joe Biden and these tax and spend Democrats to come along with us as we govern for the best future for America and Americans. Thank you, Grover.